All right, guys, welcome to class. If you could go to join.nearpod.com and type in this class code, I'll go ahead and give you guys a couple of seconds to get into the class Nearpod so we can go through our lesson together today. And if you're watching this as a recorded video, you can access this lesson by going to join.nearpod.com and typing on the class code that I have posted for you on eClass. All right, so today we're going to be learning about remixing images in order to create propaganda. So here we go. We're doing this because I asked in class, we're working with our zines, and I asked in class if you guys needed help with creating propaganda and, if we could do a classroom activity, or would you see it as busy work? And you were like, probably busy work. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. So that means you know everything about creating propaganda, you know strategies. And you're like, wait, what? So I figure we should actually go back a couple steps and learn a little bit more about remixing images so you guys can create your own propaganda in your zines. Just to remind you a little bit about what we're doing, we're creating zines right now, which are miniature magazines, while we read our dystopian novels. And you guys had to pick a side. Either you are going pro-government or you're going pro-rebellion. And whatever side you pick, you have to create a zine that supports that side of the war effort. And, every war effort needs propaganda. That's how we influence people. So you're going to have to think about who is your audience and, what is your purpose. So propaganda, we need to learn a little bit more about it and how it manipulates people. A big part of that is remixing images. So what is remixing? Remixing is basically when you cut and paste something that already exists, and then you combine it with new forms for a new audience and a new purpose. So think about music. We remix music all the time. Like an artist will sample a track, an artist will sample a sound effect, videos sample other videos. It's just one big giant, remix. And so there's a whole bunch of information. You can actually click on that link there to find out more. But not to bore you with the details, let's put it a different way. Here's an image that you guys should be familiar with, like the Facebook thumbs up, right? When you like something. Well, here's an actual piece of art in a museum that someone made multimedia. This is a picture of an art display. And it's a giant, I'll let you put the pieces together, but there's something missing there, and it looks like it's broken off into pieces on the ground, right? So even when you have an image like this, remixing is a highly cognitive process, right? So it takes a lot of thinking to mess with someone else's work to make it mean something different. And interesting, that's exactly what you guys do all day. Meme culture is literally just remix culture. That is when you take a meme that already exists oftentimes, and then you add new text and new meaning. So, think about some of the memes that are popular right now. And like you end up sometimes with memes memeing other memes to create like multi-layered memes. So like this is thinking black eye meme mixed with a Kermit meme. That's a new kind of Kermit meme where it's like good self versus like, your secret dark self that, this has all of the context of this original meme, and then it adds in the context of this meme to get me. Start all your work early and then you won't get stressed at the last minute. Me to me. You'll never get stressed if you just don't do it. So that's like two different memes kind of mashed up or remixed. This is a Great Gatsby picture from a movie originally that has become like a big toasting meme. Sometimes memes are just kind of ridiculous, like the egg meme that went around forever ago. That was weird. So what I want you guys to do now, we're going to collaborate a little bit, is I want you to post your favorite clean memes here. So using this board, you can basically just share your thoughts. So what you'll do is you'll just click there to share an image, and you can use this image search here. Let's just say Kermit me to me meme, and post some of your favorite memes. Let's make sure this one's clean. Oh, wow. Some of these are not so clean. So you're going to have to, just use our version of clean here. There we go. That's pretty meme. Or clean. That's about dogs. And then make sure you share it with your name. That way I know who did it. It should pop up anyway. Yeah, there we go. And just share your favorite memes. If you see a meme that someone likes, you can go ahead and like it, and we'll see which meme is the best meme. So may the best meme win. All right. So moving on, let's talk a little bit more about how memes become so big, right? Because remember, our end goal here is to talk about propaganda. But memes essentially are statements about our culture and like who we are, which is interesting sometimes, kind of scary. But everything being a remix. Bugs Bunny, right? That's a character everybody knew. Well, there was an image on the internet of a fat Bugs Bunny, and so that was kind of like the first step of the Big Chungus meme. Well, a bunch of people at GameStop, not a bunch, a couple of dudes at GameStop thought it would be really funny to make a fake video game using a fat Bugs Bunny. So they took the picture of it and they called it Big Chungus was the name of the video game they made. And so they put this sleeve inside of the box at GameStop and they put it out on the shelf, just expecting people to laugh at it. They wanted to see what would happen. Well, sure enough, a mom came in later that afternoon looking for a game for their son. And they wanted to buy this game. And so the GameStop employees, posted about it later on Reddit. It blew up on Reddit. It took over the whole internet. And then we ended up with this great video about Big Chungus. And I'm going to skip the video for you for right now, but you're more than welcome to watch it and download it. I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that and just kind of collect your thinking about it, and then we'll talk about it. So I want to hear what you guys think. All right, so now that we've had a chance to discuss it, let's talk about some of the layers that went into that, right? There was the Bugs Bunny character. There was the Reddit post. Meme culture picked up the Reddit post. They added the Drake song, and then we get Big Chungus as a music video now with Drake, as the backtrack. So all of that went into the creation of this video. And so now that you understand kind of how complex just that meme was, let's talk about something even more complex, like propaganda. So when we create propaganda, what we're trying to do is find an image that already exists and then mess with it for our nefarious purposes, our evil purposes, right? Like if we're the government, we're going to try to manipulate people using images that they love. So that way they take images they love and they take that love and attach it to our new message, right? So like if I'm trying to convince you to be more patriotic, I'm going to take a symbol of something that you love, like the American flag, and I'm going to attach meaning to it, like new meaning, to try to manipulate you. I don't have time to try to make you love the country if you already do. So I'm going to use that love you already have, and I'm going to make you attach it to my message, okay? Because remember, I'm the evil government in your dystopian novels. That's who you're pretending to be when you write your zines. Or you're the rebels. So you're going to take an image or a concept you already love, like freedom, for instance, and find an image that represents that people would understand, and you're going to attach your new meaning to it. There's a fancy term for that called double exposure. That's when you take an image that already has meaning and you put new meaning on top of it. Now, that doesn't erase the meaning that already existed. So think about the American flag, right? if I put a message that's like pro Donald Trump on top of the American flag, it doesn't erase the patriotic feelings you have for the American flag. It just now attaches that feeling of patriotism to my Donald Trump quote. And so remember, the first thing you got to think about, though, always when you create propaganda is who is your audience and what is your purpose. So there's a lot of different things you can play with, sound bites, symbols, social issues. So you're going to think about that. You're going to take a pre-existing image and you're going to remix that image with elements from your dystopia. So let's take a look. Here's some remixing examples. Now, we all remember this picture from President Obama's election campaign. This is one of the images that helped get President Obama elected. Now, this image has been remixed basically to become anti-Obama. And so hope was changed to snob. They kept a lot of the same color schemes and the same style. So when you see this image here, it's impossible not to think about this image here. But now it is anti-Obama in propaganda instead of pro-Obama in propaganda. Here's another example. Now, think back to when I showed you guys at the beginning of this unit, this dystopian unit, I showed you guys some examples of propaganda from dystopia. And we talked about 1984 with Big Brother. Well, so here's the original Big Brother poster that's now been remixed with Obama's head instead, calling Obama Big Brother. Okay, now let's look at some more strategies. This is called, when we do this, it's called transfer. So it's taking your understanding of the original image and it's attaching it, you're transferring that understanding to a new image. We've got President Obama in 2008 with Hope, and we have President Trump in 2016 with Grope. We have that original Obama image remixed with President Trump, and they've added a clown nose and the word joke instead of hope. They've taken, now what do you guys think? Is this going to be pro-Trump or anti-Trump? Now, it's all propaganda. What image does this remind you of? Yeah, the Obama one, right? So here's Trump, except they've changed it to build the wall. So they transferred that original idea and they've added in new elements of propaganda, a wall in this case. So you got to ask yourself, what are you transferring from the original image and what is the new image? Okay, this is called a bandwagon strategy. This is a different strategy, which we'll look at some more examples of. But this is like basically using an image that makes you have certain feels, and it's asking you to jump on the bandwagon or do what everybody else is doing. Like, you wouldn't want to be unpatriotic, right? Like, you wouldn't turn your back on your country, right? So, that's where this original Uncle Sam idea came from. Now, a lot of this has become lost as our ideas of patriotism have changed over the years. Uncle Sam doesn't have the same appeal anymore. And part of that is because of the propaganda that's come about since then. So, would you be as interested in joining the U.S. Army if it meant supporting the war on terror? And this is an image that's been kind of twisted further. And instead of, Uncle Sam, we now have Osama bin Laden. And it's Osama bin Laden telling you that he wants you to invade Iraq. Are you going to jump on that bandwagon? Would you listen to Osama bin Laden? Why or why not? Why is Osama bin Laden the one that's telling you to invade Iraq? So what is the complex thinking that's going on with this image here? What do you guys think? All right. So as a final example, and I'm going to let you guys play around with some tools and ideas here. I want you to take a look at these Star Wars examples. And this is kind of what I'm asking you guys to do. Okay, so let's pretend like we were playing around with Star Wars. You'd have to pick a side. Are you going to be pro-rebel or are you going to be pro-empire? So these are all pro-empire images, pieces of propaganda that support the empire, Darth Vader and stormtroopers. And they're using images from the movie, that are recognizable. And they're basically thinking about an audience inside of Star Wars. So do you think they want peace? Rebels are terrorists, ready to serve, fight for the empire. So these are all pieces of propaganda that are trying to get you, if you lived in the Star Wars universe, to sign up for fighting for the empire. This is what you guys are going to have to do with your own propaganda for your zines, is you're going to have to imagine that A, you're actually in that world, and B, you're going to create propaganda to support your cause. So are you pro-government or are you pro-rebellion? And then what you're going to do is create some propaganda that supports your side using some images, from your book. So I hope this helps you guys figure it out. I'll be working with you further. Check out the next video in the series. It's actually going to show you how to create some images like this, and we'll play around some more with propaganda.